Good morning and welcome to the South Carolina Public Service Commission. We are here today for a special business meeting. It is September 29th and it is approximately 11 a.m. Before we begin, would you join me in a moment of silent reflection? Thank you very much. Present in the hearing room are Commissioners Belser, Commissioner Britt, Commissioner Caston, C. Williams, Commissioner Thomas, and I am Delton Powers. Vice Chair Williams is on military leave. Mr. Scarborough, please, if you would, proceed with the docket.
Good morning, Chair Powers and Commissioners. Staff offers a reminder that the next regularly scheduled Commission business meeting is set for Thursday, October 2nd, 2025 at 11 o'clock a.m.
Next business meeting will be Thursday, October 2nd.
Thank you, sir. Today we have just 3 items on the agenda. Item number 1 is in docket number 2025-9E. This item involves final disposition of this docket.
As to item number 1, is there a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you. I move that the Commission find, based on Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's 2025 Integrated Resource Plan update, the Office of Regulatory Staff, and all filings submitted in the record, that Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's 2025 Integrated Resource Plan update is reasonable and meets the statutory requirements established by Act 62 of 2019 and by Act 41 of 2025. ORS's report identified certain recommendations for upcoming discussions in the stakeholder working group, as well as recommendations that the company shall address in its upcoming comprehensive IRP to be filed in 2026. Dominion Energy agreed to such in its September 17, 2025 letter. I move that the Commission find the following recommendations as made by ORS are reasonable and in the public interest. Number 1, discuss the methodology and results of the most recent reserve margin analysis in the SWG, or the Stakeholder Working Group, prior to filing of the 2026 Comprehensive IRP. The results of any discussions held in the State Working Group should be reviewed in the company's reserve margin report in the 2026 Comprehensive IRP. Number 2, monitor, track, and file annual reports in future comprehensive IRPs and IRP updates related to the forecasted versus the actual load consumption for economic development loads. Number 3, discuss the methodology for load forecasting, including economic development load in the Stakeholder Working Group. The results of any discussions held in the Stakeholder Working Group should be reported in the 2026 Comprehensive IRP. Number 4, continue to monitor hydrogen availability, including the possibility of blending and price forecast assumptions, and discuss any findings in the Stakeholder Working Group. The results of any discussions held in the Stakeholder Working Group should be reported in the 2026 Comprehensive IRP. Number 5, include sensitivities to evaluate the impact of changes in the federal tax incentives in its 2026 Comprehensive IRP, and continue to discuss impacts in the Stakeholder Working Group. Number 6, perform risk analysis of all scenarios with and without the Section 111 greenhouse gas rules and other environmental regulatory considerations in the 2026 Comprehensive IRP filing. Number 7, with regard to ORS's recommendation to perform an optimal retirement analysis of Watery and Williams and evaluate alternative combined cycle configurations in support of Act 41 in the joint resource, Dominion Energy has agreed to include modeling concerning the optimal retirement of Williams and Watery from an economic basis in its 2026 IRP. The modeling analysis should include consideration with and without Section 111 greenhouse gas rule requirements if pertinent, or other environmental regulatory considerations relevant at the time of filing. I further move that the Commission find that it is in the public interest for interveners to have software licenses used in modeling. As such, access provides transparency in data and full participation regarding complex modeling. The company shall facilitate such by the time of the 2026 Comprehensive IRP application, consistent with the provisions of South Carolina Code, annotated Section 58-37-40E. Finally, I move that any order provisions from previous Dominion Energy South Carolina IRP decisions by the Commission that have not already been addressed by the company should be incorporated in ongoing stakeholder engagement, potential negotiations, and in its 2026 Integrated Resource Plan. The Commission shall issue a full order outlining the details of its decisions, including findings and conclusions.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Williams, is any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman, if I might,
Commissioner Belser.
I would just like to thank Dominion, the Office of Regulatory Staff, and say CCL, the interveners, for their filings. I found the comments and, well, the update, ORS's reports, and then the comments, I found them particularly helpful this time around. Maybe it's just that I'm getting a little more accustomed to IRPs and looking at them, but you can tell that the parties are passionate about their positions, and while we don't accept everything that somebody might put forth, I do thank everybody for their robust participation and filings. It's very helpful when we have to go through and discuss these with staff and each other to have those detailed filings, and I'd just like to thank the parties for those. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser. Any further comments? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 2 is in docket number 2025-7G. This item involves final disposition of this docket.
As to item number 2, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belser.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get straight here. This matter concerns the annual filing of Piedmont Natural Gas Company Incorporated under the provisions of the Natural Gas Rate Stabilization Act. Piedmont's election to come under the provisions of the RSA was part of Piedmont's last general rate case in docket number 2022-674 and was reflected in order number 2022-6, and in that order. Excuse me. I got the docket number wrong in my motion. Pursuant to the provisions of the RSA, Piedmont's March 31, 2025 quarterly monitoring report provides the basis for this proceeding to review Piedmont's rates. Piedmont timely filed its March 31, 2025 quarterly monitoring report, and the South Carolina Office of Regulatory Staff conducted its review of that report as required by the RSA. On August 29, 2025, ORS filed its report entitled Review of Piedmont Natural Gas Company's Gas Rate Stabilization Act Monitoring Report for the period ending March 31, 2025. Thereafter, ORS and Piedmont engaged in discussions which resulted in a settlement agreement which the parties filed with the Commission on September 23, 2025. After reviewing Piedmont's March 31, 2025 quarterly monitoring report, ORS's report, and the settlement agreement, I move the Commission approve the settlement agreement presented by Piedmont and ORS. The settlement agreement provides, among other things, that Piedmont will adopt ORS's recommended accounting adjustments as set forth in Settlement Exhibit 2, which is part of the settlement agreement. The parties agree on the inclusion of income for return within the calculation of the lead lag cash working capital requirement, and Piedmont accepts ORS's adjustments for exclusion of all other non-cash items from the lead lag cash working capital requirement as set forth in Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2 of the settlement agreement. Piedmont will implement rates for the 12-month period beginning with the first billing cycle in November 2025 as calculated based on a 9.3% return on equity as approved by Commission Order Number 2022-674. Based upon A, the settlement accounting adjustments proposed by ORS and Piedmont, B, a debt equity ratio of 46.78%, 53.22%, and C, the agreement of Piedmont to implement rates based on a 9.3 ROE. The settlement agreement results in an increase in current margin rates of $14,908,598. The settlement agreement results in a reduction of $2,103,243 in margin rates for South Carolina ratepayers when compared to rates calculated based on the company's position as originally filed on June 13, 2025 in the March 31, 2025 quarterly monitoring report. On September 25th, 2025, Piedmont filed a copy of schedules showing the reconciliation of each tariff rate change and the revenue produced with the agreed-upon revenue requirement resulting from the settlement agreement. ORS has filed a letter indicating that it has reviewed and verified these schedules with Piedmont. I move that a full order be issued in this docket no later than October 15th, 2025. And back in the first part where I misstated a docket number, that docket number was 2022-89G for that rate case that resulted in the commission order.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser. Hearing the motion, is any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by no, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Ms. Scarborough, before you do the third one, while I'm thinking about it, the meeting on October 2nd will be at 11 a.m., not at the normal 2, because we have a public hearing scheduled that evening.
That's right. That's what I had, 11 a.m.
I know, I did not state it. I
That's all
wanted to make sure we got that straight. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 3 appears in docket number 2025-6G. This item also involves final disposition of this docket.
As to item number 3, is there a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you. Pursuant to the provisions of the Natural Gas Rate Stabilization Act, codified at South Carolina Code Annotated Section 58-5-400 et sec, Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated filed its quarterly monitoring report for the 12 months ending March 31st, 2025. The Office of Regulatory Staff examined the operating expense report filed by Dominion for the review period with the associated revenue requirement calculations. ORS also reviewed the company's proposed tariffs for conformance as nearly as practical to the revenue allocation principles set out in the company's most recent natural gas rate case order, order number 2023-737A, in docket number 2023-70G. The Office of Regulatory Staff proposed certain adjustments, and the parties entered into a settlement agreement that was filed with the Commission on September the 18th, 2025. Under terms of the settlement agreement, Dominion will implement rates for the 12-month period beginning with the first billing cycle of November 2025, calculated on the basis of a 9.49% return on equity as approved by Commission Order 2023-737A. The parties agree that Dominion Energy South Carolina will realize an increase in the current margin rates totaling $15,181,124 based on A, the settlement accounting adjustments proposed by the Office of Regulatory Staff and Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated. B, the debt-to-equity ratio of 47.45 to 52.55. And C, the return on equity of 9.49% as approved in rate case order number 2023-737A. The parties agree that this equates to a reduction of $1,515,383 in margin rates for South Carolina ratepayers when compared to the rates calculated based on the original position of Dominion as originally filed in its quarterly monitoring report. I move that the Commission adopt the adjustments and changes proposed in the settlement agreement agreed upon between the Office of Regulatory Staff and Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated. Additionally, I move that the Commission order Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated to file revised rate schedules incorporating these adjustments no later than October the 6th, 2025 at noon. The Office of Regulatory Staff is asked to check and conform the revised schedules from Dominion with the Commission no later than October the 10th, 2025 at noon. A full order will be issued by the Commission no later than October 15th, 2025. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Thomas, is any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no, the ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, this concludes all business noticed before the Commission today.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough, and thank you to all who have joined us today. I hope everyone has a good week. We adjourn.